When I started mobile development 8 years ago, I really never thought that I would be able to craft the types of applications that we're building today. We're building more beautiful applications across more form factors more than ever, but the type of experiences that we can give our customers, our users, are more unique, more fast, more beautiful, and more real-time than ever. I've been building applications for over 8 years with Xamarin, and the ability to create real-time applications, combining your ability to leverage C# and .NET in Xamarin applications and on the server with SignalR, in literally just a few lines of code, is absolutely mind-blowing. The first time I did it, and I talked to the team, and they said, oh yeah, just a few lines of code, and we handle everything for you. I said, impossible. I've worked with servers, I've worked with WCF, I've now worked with gRPC. There's no way that in a few lines of code, I'll be able to get near real-time communication, and I, as a developer, won't have to worry about the communication protocol at all. And then I did it, and it was amazing. So now all I want to do is champion how amazing SignalR is with Xamarin. And I first want to start off with our commitment to enabling you as a developer to build for absolutely any single operating system and share code across all of them. With .NET, you're able to build for desktop, web, cloud, mobile, gaming, IoT, and just about anything else. Now, when it comes to mobile, that's where Xamarin comes in. It is our cross-platform, native, open source runtime to build beautiful native iOS, Android, macOS, watchOS, and tvOS applications with .NET. The beautiful part is that if you already know C#.NET, you're a mobile developer. You're a web developer, you're a desktop developer. Me, myself, I started in the world of WinForms, moved to WPF, and when I wanted to build a mobile app, 80% of my skill set already applied to mobile. I already know all the hard stuff, the stuff that's in the bottom here. Business logic, accessing shared platform code, user interface libraries, the ecosystem of .NET I already knew. I just went and learned a little bit of iOS and Android to get there. So with Xamarin, you're able to craft beautiful iOS and Android applications, but share code with all of your .NET applications. And that's what I absolutely love, because when you go to learn SignalR to do real-time communication, the code is exactly the same for every single .NET platform that you want to learn. Now, of course, iOS, Android, Windows, they're all a little bit different because you hit a back button or a close button and your app goes into the background. But beyond that, all the code, all the knowledge is leverageable between all these platforms. Now, when you think of real-time applications, it's things that we're doing every single day, whether we're chatting to our friends, playing a game, or we're using all of the different services around us. Every bit of it really requires constant communication with backend services, but in real time access to what our users are doing. And that's where SignalR comes in. It enables us as developers to seamlessly enable real-time communication between our web, desktop, mobile applications, or just about anything else, and easily scale it out to hundreds of thousands of users. So it works a little bit like this. SignalR, at its core, has a hub. Now that hub, for all intents and purposes, is probably some web server somewhere, your existing ASP.NET Core website or your other web backend. And that's where you integrate SignalR as a hub that will be the communication center point for all of your devices. So when something happens in SignalR, it can immediately communicate to all of your different devices immediately. Now, SignalR can also do other things. For instance, you might be on a website sending some information to your hub, and then the hub can seamlessly send all that information out to all of your connected clients. What's really cool is that SignalR also has built-in support for grouping, users. So if you only want to send that message to the same user or to another friend with a similar device, that's all built into SignalR. The best part is that if you were to try to build this communication layer, you'd have to worry about, well, how do I communicate? What do those devices support? What does the operating system support? SignalR handles all of it for you automatically. It will automatically connect via WebSockets, via the transport layer, or if the device or operating system or browser doesn't support it, it will drop down to server-sent events and even long polling seamlessly for you immediately. Like I said, it handles automatic reconnections seamlessly. You can message all of your users, specific clients, groups, and it scales to handle increased traffic seamlessly, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, what's great is that there are hub SDKs and client SDKs. The hub SDKs are available for .NET and ASP.NET Core. And additionally, a hub doesn't even have to be your website or your ASP.NET Core application. You can use Azure SignalR service, which scales out your Azure SignalR with functions to hundreds of thousands of users. My good friend Anthony Chu, sitting right here, did an amazing session at Build talking about Azure SignalR service. So I encourage you to go watch that on Channel 9 and YouTube. The best part is that you can easily integrate it into a bunch of clients, all of your .NET applications via .NET Standard, or you can use Java or JavaScript or even TypeScript. So I want to start off with something very, very simple, showing how easy it is to combine SignalR with an existing ASP.NET Core 3.0 service with the Xamarin mobile application. Now, in this instance, I just have a list of data. So these are all of my items that are coming into my application. And I thought what would be really cool to add is real-time messaging to all of my connected clients. So this means whenever I add a new item into my database, I'm going to use SignalR to push a message to every single connected client in real time. Or vice versa, whenever one of the mobile apps submits a new item to my backend, that will then send out to all of my other clients, so I don't have to sit there and poll. So let me head over to, I don't know how to do this, 6, there we go, to my Mac over here. And what I have is a very, very straightforward application. I have an ASP.NET Core 3 backend, and then I have an Android and an iOS application, and then some shared code for my views and my view models with Xamarin and Xamarin Forms. So the first thing I want to do is start with my ASP.NET Core application. When I come in, the first thing that I need to do is configure SignalR. Add SignalR, done, boom, I'm amazing. The next thing that I need to do is specify the endpoint in which my users are going to communicate to. Here, when I map my endpoints, I'll map my API controllers and then map my hub. And this is going to be the URL endpoint that my users can connect to. So whatever my IP address is, /hubs/messages. Now, this messages hub is inside of my ASP.NET Core application, and it is just a hub. It doesn't do anything, because this is the easiest example where it's just a hub that can communicate to. What I'm going to do is, from my controller, send a message through the hub to all of my connected clients. So let's take a look at my item controller. I have an API controller with an API route. Whenever I do a create inside of here, what I'm going to do is take that current item. For the demo, I'm going to add a random number in it so I can just jam on the button. Don't get too close to that, apparently. And then I'm going to add it into my database. And then right here, I am going to say hub clients send async. And I am going to send a message to all of my users, which says new item as the key, and I'm going to send it a JSON blob. Now this hub comes from dependency injection up top. What I've done here is I've sent in a hub context of message hub. So that's how it knows to communicate with that endpoint that my clients are going to connect to. Now, inside of my mobile applications, I have gone in and I've added the Microsoft.ASP.NET Core SignalR.Client 3.0. And this is all on ASP.NET Core 3.0. You can also use it in 2.x as well. And with Xamarin, you can use it in any version too. But I just have the latest version that you would install yourselves. Now, when I want to connect to it from my mobile applications, I have a very simple items view model. What this is going to do is it has a way to communicate to my backend to pull those items from my web API. And then here, coming from that NuGet package, is a hub connection. So instead of having a hub, I have a hub connection that I can create. And what I do is I specify the URL that I would like my applications to communicate with. And here I say hub connector build to this URL, build it. Then I set up all of the messages that my mobile applications are going to receive. So the hub connection, I'm going to say I am going to receive a string with the key of new item. Now at this point, it could be coming in on any thread, background, foreground, so I make sure that I invoke and begin on the UI thread, I deserialize that message, and I insert it into my local list that's going to be displayed. And that's how I set up my message in just a few lines of code. The cool part here is that to connect to it, whenever I start to get my data, I just say, if I'm not connected, start my connection. This will go off, start a connection to the SignalR hub, and then I'm ready to go and receive those messages. That's it. That's all the code that's inside of here. Literally 3 or 4 lines of code. Now what I've done is I've spun up my SignalR hub. It's just sitting here, .NET Run, on my local machine. And I'm communicating here to my Azure backend URL, which in this case is just localhost. So here for Android, I communicate on the loopback, which is 10.0.22, and localhost for iOS. So all I need to do now is hit debug. This will compile my iOS and Android applications with the SignalR built into it. And it'll go ahead and deploy. And here I have my Android and iOS device spun up. When I connect, I put up this little connected signal on it. And these are just the built-in 3 items that are being returned from my connection. Now the cool part here is when I pull up Edge, I have a little Swagger definition that'll enable me to add items. So when I come in and I post a new item, it's just string, 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 string. But here I can go ahead and say, try it out, and hit execute. Immediately, you see my iOS and my Android application get the brand new item. So 99, 86, 89, immediately, because it is communicating with that SignalR connection. But this is beautiful because my backend has that, but also my apps have it. Now, the website is submitting new items, but over here, I could be submitting a new item from my iOS application, and now my Android application will get it in real time too. So no matter where I'm adding items, I'm able to get that update in real time using SignalR with literally 4 lines of code inside of my application, which is really, really cool and powerful to be able to do from just a few lines of code. Now, there's a bunch of different scenarios that I talked about with SignalR. And it was this instance, it is just going off and it is pushing code to my other applications. But there's a lot of instances where I may want to send information to others. So here, when I send a message to SignalR, I may want to send it to just everybody else that's connected. Or another use case is that I might send a message from the web, but I may only want to send it to one person that's in the group. A good use case for this, like every good SignalR application, is a chat application, which has to be in every SignalR demo ever. And this is great because you're going to be building applications. You might get those little type bubbles. You might build a bunch of other things. But this shows the power of using grouping with SignalR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over into another application that I have built. So let me go ahead and pull that up over here. That has a few more items in it. I'm first going to go ahead and stop my backend. Boop. There we go. And it's going to pull this up here. And I have mobile applications. I have a web application. And I also have a console application. So this is a .NET Core console application. The cool part about SignalR is that you can run that .NET logic anywhere. So what I've created is instead of shoving the SignalR code into my mobile apps, I've put the code into the XAM chat shared core project. So here I have a beach ball, apparently. Oh, it's restoring NuGet packages. That's good. is I have a shared library that I call chat service. So I can share this code with any of my other applications here. And I'll get to where that comes into play in a second. So let's look at the back end first. If I go into my, my startup code, it's very minimal again. I say add SignalR. Down below, I'm mapping my chat hub. Now in this case, my chat hub, I am going to be sending messages from my mobile apps to my hub, and then my hub will send messages out back to my users. So if you put methods inside of your hub, these become endpoints that your mobile applications or desktop apps or any other application can communicate to. So what I've done is I've said, let me create an add to group and a remove from group. So these will be methods that my mobile apps will add. And automatically built into a hub is a unique identifier for each connection. So context.connectionID will put my user that's connected into a group. So I can have a .NET group, a Xamarin group, an ASP.NET group, and little chat rooms. And then when I remove myself, here, what I do is I say remove from group async. So add to group, remove from group. Additionally, I am going to notify all members of the group that someone has added and been added to the group or removed. So I can see if Anthony joined the chat or removed himself from the chat. Then, on the back end, my mobile apps or anybody else will call a send message. They'll tell me what group they want to send the message to, what their username is, and the message that they want to send. And then the SignalR hub sends that message back out, which is very cool. Now in the mobile application and the console application, I have a chat service. So instead of putting all of my logic in the console app or in the mobile app, I put it here. It's sort of a generic form of handling and sending messages, but it's going to look exactly the same of what I did earlier. Here, I have my hub connection with the URL. Down here, I'm putting in some retry logic if my applications go offline. So I get a closed event, and whenever that closed, I try to reconnect with a timeout over and over again. Then, what I'm going to do is handle messages. So whenever I get a message that's received a message, entered or left, I created little events that any other client can connect to. So iOS and Android can connect and say, hey, whenever I get an on-received message event, put that in my list. Or whenever someone entered or left, do something with it. That way I'm not putting app logic in my SignalR part here. Additionally, I have a little code to connect asynchronously and also disconnect if I remove myself and disconnect immediately. And then inside of here, this is where any of the mobile applications or console applications can add or remove themselves from the group. So just like I was receiving messages from the hub, I can send messages to the hub, pub, sub, back and forth. So what I can do inside of here is I'm going to first run the backend. So let me open in terminal, and I'm going to say .NET run. Now, on local hosts, I'm running my backend code that everybody can connect to. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin up a few console applications, because who doesn't love console applications? There we go. So here, this is my .NET Core console app. So I'll say .NET run, and I'll say .NET run. And let me go ahead and stack these here so we can kind of see them a little bit better. There we go. And zoom in. So here I'm going to say enter IP address. I'll say localhost. Localhost. And now I am ready to communicate. You see some action on the host. So I'm going to join the .NET room over here. Also join the .NET room. And then I can say hi. Hello. Wow. And now it's receiving messages. If I leave the room and I enter the Xamarin room and I say hi, frowny face, not going to get it. But as soon as I come over here and leave and enter the Xamarin room, now we're communicating again because we're in the same room in that same group. Now what's cool, of course, is that I can run the same exact application over on my iOS and my Android iOS and Android, and they're all using that same backend code. So let's have these spin up over here. There we go. So here we have our iOS and Android application. I'm going to wait for them all to spin up. And let's all just join the Xamarin room. There we go. I'm going to join the Xamarin room over here. Bup, 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 bup. Cool. I even have a little indicator that someone joined a room over here. So if I come in and I quit, and then I come back in over here, we can see that they come in. I could come in and say hello. There we go. It comes up over here. And I say, wow, amazing, James. Awesome. And now everybody is getting the messages all in real time in that group. But if Android's like, you know what, I'm out, I'm an ASP.NET developer, and I'll say, hey, everyone. Awesome. Now only my console applications are getting it. What's really cool is that I can take that exact same ASP.NET Core application and shove it up into Azure, which is what I've done. So over here, I've been connecting to localhost. But I'm going to change this. I'm going to say zamchatter.azurewebsites.net. The same thing on this profile. Over here, instead of connecting to localhost, I'm going to do zamchatter.azurewebsites.net. Over here, go ahead, go back to the dashboard, go into Xamarin, go into Xamarin. This is now communicating in a free instance of Azure, and so now it's connected to my SignalR connection. And now when I say, whoa, Azure, boom. Now only my mobile application that's communicating to Azure gets that message. And I didn't have to do anything. I just hit a different endpoint, and now I can scale out my backend. But if I want to test it, I can do everything locally on my machine. And all of that code is shared between my console app and my mobile applications, and everything is in C# and .NET with the power of .NET running absolutely everywhere. Now, if you're scaling out your application to hundreds of thousands of users, instead of putting all of that logic in your ASP.NET Core application, you can use Azure SignalR, which will automatically scale out and handle everything for you. There's great content that's available on our documentation page, and also from Anthony, who's a huge champion of leveraging Azure Functions and Azure SignalR Service together. All of the source code is available on my GitHub, and also we have tons of great Xamarin content here at Ignite. So I hope that you come any of the days to any of our great sessions that we have. I hope that you're able to see how easy it is to build real-time communication applications with Xamarin, .NET, and SignalR. You can find all of my links on my GitHub, and thank you so much.